Good evening, my friends. I hope you're well. This is an update on a yield farm portfolio, which I started with $1,900. We're currently up $3,200 in value. So it's about 1,200, 1,300 in profits in about 2 weeks. Now, how I built the portfolio is what people share in paid courses. I'm going to share it in this video so you know exactly what to do and you can start doing exactly the same. So the first video is in the description, or I might make a playlist, or the top right. You can click that and watch that. But in theory, what we're doing is we're using one pool to feed and make all the others. So we're earning a very small amount, and I'm going to talk you through why it's small. And the yield, we're harvesting it, and then we're going and we're finding another pool and we're making it. So we're just using the pool to build other pools that eventually grow, and then we can make more pools and we can compound, and it has a snowball effect. This is key. Now, if you notice, everything is paired with Solana on here. I haven't done any USDT or USDC. And for the reason I'm going to explain later on in the video, but I'm going to talk you through this portfolio. Now, please note, these are wide ranges now. I've moved to wider ranges for two reasons. One, I haven't got the time to manage a small portfolio of $3,000, but I'm making it for the purpose of YouTube videos so people can learn, etc. Now, the reason is, as well, is I don't really think any of these are, I think these are going to go much, much higher. And I'll talk you through why I've purchased them. Everything here, I own a larger bag on central exchanges. So I've got conviction in these, but I thought, while my portfolio is doing well, so I'm going to stick it in the yield farm. And this is what I'm bullish on, basically. The reason is I think Solana's ecosystem or meme coin season is coming in the next few weeks. So I'm buying the DEX tokens, Jupiter, Radium, Orca. You can see Jupiter, if you look on the all-time high chart or the all-time chart, it's well below what it was at launch. And it's highs of like over $1, basically, at most times. So I think it's going to go over $1. Same with Radium. Radium's the most popular DEX on Solana as well. There's Pump Swap, but it doesn't have a token. So if you are wanting exposure, this is clearly the floor here. This is clearly the floor here, and it's going to rise up. So I think I got in about just under $2, something like that, with Radium making this pull was about 220, something like that. So I brought in before all of these, and then I've made these pulls. So the other reason is what you want, it's more likely to stay in range. Jupiter and Solana tend to move together. If Solana's doing bad, Jupiter's doing bad. If Jupiter's doing good, Solana's usually doing good. So they move together. Now I've got Frog here. It's my only meme coin on here. And the reason is I brought a nice bag of Frog. I've been shilling it and saying to people buy in at like 32 mil. And I thought, let me compare $100 in a yield farm to compare it with a 1 month, 2 month hold, because typically if you hold a token, you make much more in a shorter space of time. But over time, compounding it, you're going to make much more. So it's not always great to actually yield farm, but the longer you stay in range, the more beneficial it is. That if the price gets stuck at like Bitcoin gets stuck at 100K, I'm going to be earning, I'm going to be catching up in that theory. So how do you start your portfolio? What do you do with this situation? So depending on how much you have, I've even got a $300 USDC that I sent in probably about a day or two ago, just waiting for anything. If it dips, I can add to these, or I'm going to make another pool if I want to grow the portfolio, etc. So I typically start off with wider ranges. Nothing here is, apart from this one, nothing here is 20%. And for the reasons I mentioned, I can't manage this 3,000 portfolio. I can't sit here and wait for Jupiter to get an entry, rebalance it, etc. So I put it wider ranges. I'm more interested in the value going up, and that's what you need to focus on when you yield farm. Not so much the yield. But if you want to start off, when you're starting off, you want to find out what's working well. So you'd go in with $300, for example, and you would say, okay, I want to farm, I don't know, wrapped Bitcoin and Solana. Pair these two together. You remember, no stable coins. You want to pair things that move together, and you might want to go with the most solid thing, Bitcoin and Solana. We're on Solana. So we're going to be earning, let's go with custom, and you might want to do like a 3% range. You're probably going to earn $1 or something off one Solana. So you earn about $1, $2 per day. And you want to just, as soon as it goes out of range, rebalance it. But let this build up. Grow your initial balance. Your $300 might be 350 later on. And then as you start sort of get comfortable and you start to realize, okay, this is the floor, it's staying in range, you can do a wider range of 5%. Your balance will be more and you'll move there. Eventually, you'll do a wide range where you're satisfied and you'll have 25% or even a full range, something like that. So start off each pool, every single new pool you make, start off on a tight range, establish it, and then move on to wider ranges. And once the wider ranges, it funds all the others. In the meantime, you just want to be, because like a 25% range, I mean, we're going back until February where we're sitting pretty. Now you're going to earn a very small amount, fine, no problem. But we're betting on the price going up rather of both of them. This, believe it or not, this doesn't mean the price is not going up. Both of them can be going up together, and the price will stay in the middle because this is liquidity is Bitcoin compared to Solana. Which one is doing better? This is where Bitcoin's had a run up, but Solana was falling. This is when Solana had a run up, but Bitcoin was either staying the same. But here they're sort of moving together, if that makes any sense. Moving forward, once you start to build up, you can start to either add more or you can start to add more risky memes. So, for example, we got $2 in here. I can't do anything with $2 but compound it or let it build up. Let's say we build it up to $50. We could probably make another pool. I typically try to get pools made at $100. Otherwise, it doesn't earn anything. Like, look at this one. It's earning 18 cents per day. It's not really going to make any meaningful impact on the portfolio, whatever the size is. Even if it's $100, it doesn't make any difference. So you'd let it build up, and we're betting on Ethereum's price to go up basically. In order, we need at least 10-20% once we got a few dollars, and it will help push it up. But the frog one will be interesting to watch actually. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in there or I'm just going to leave it or whatever, or just make a tighter spread. But I started it on a very small spread, 5%, 10%, and then where I just left it in a full range because who knows, it's probably going to go much higher, and our balance will keep compounding it in as we move forward. Radium, like I said, the DEX tokens, I think Solana is going to start having a little meme coin run. So if you are looking to start a portfolio, you could copy this one. It's up to you, but find a good entry. The money is made on buying. Like, look, we started with $1,900. We've been compounding it in. This is 2 weeks. This is not a period where it's like, oh, we've waited a month to earn that. Most people have or can find $2,000 to start their portfolio. You can do it. Now imagine we've had a bit good little run up. It hasn't gone parabolic, the crypto market. It's not like we brought in at 20k and now Bitcoin's 100k. It's just moved up a few thousand and we've had tight ranges. So it's not crazy amounts. So Bitcoin's moved up what? Probably from 84 to 90. It's not great. It's not like a massive run up. We still got time to sort of move up. Bitcoin, when Bitcoin goes to over 100k, this portfolio will probably be over 7,000. And at that point, we should be earning $10 per day if we compound well, depending on maybe the high risk assets like Radium and Orca. If they start to move and Frog, that's where our money's going to be made. These four probably. Like that's just going to feed in. I usually just send the Bitcoin to Coinbase and I use the Solana just to pay for the gas or top up some of the other pools from there. So that really, we're not really growing this balance. We're just waiting for the price to accumulate. But for this Jupiter, I'd like to have more Jupe in there. I'd like to also have more Ray and definitely more Frog, Orca. And I don't really care too much about this one. This one probably needs a bit of a change, but it's nice to have some exposure to Ethereum. Who knows? Things can run up. Now, one thing I do want to add here, I did see a pool, and I've got my eye on maybe a Sui pool, which I should have added. I've got some exposure to SUI. Like this one's pretty good. So you could even start with this one. So SUI and Solana, believe it or not, if you went in with $300 like I'm just suggesting, you would be making $1 per day on that. And on a 5%, which would stay in range for a few days, you'll earn $2, something like that. That's enough to maybe, top up the pool, start earning more, establish where your range is. And if you really want to be risky, you can do like 2.5 or something, maybe get a $5 a day. That's probably what I would do if I had a small amount of like $300. So I'd get my $5 a day and then I'd build it up, compound it for a bit, and then I'll slowly make something like Frog, make something like Bitcoin Solana, try and get some more funds and then double it. But hopefully you could be earning $50, $40 per day off a very small amount. You'll have to manage that portfolio. I'm not looking to manage $3,000. I want, if I'm going to manage something, it has to be over $10,000, $20,000. In all honesty, if I'm going to daily manage something, in order to get a yield. So if you add a zero onto this value and we got $32,000, we'll be earning 37, which wouldn't be too bad. People don't earn that in a wage some places. So I don't want to ramble on, but I hope if you're looking to get into yield farming, this is a more conservative, safe strategy that we're banking on the assets going up in value rather than looking at, and I made this portfolio to teach. Also, I'm going to make it to profit from. I'm looking to exit it at some point, maybe in 1 to 2, 3 months, depending on what the market does. But we're very safe. We've made our money actually, and we've made $1,900. We started with $2,000 basically. We're up $1,400 in profit basically. So even if the market tanks, Solana needs to go to $120, Bitcoin needs to go to 80,000. I will see that coming a mile off before that actually happens. And even if something like radium goes to zero, it won't affect the portfolio. We'll still be in profit. So I just really have to watch Solana because everything's pegged in Solana. But again, we haven't got massive amounts of Solana. We probably got maybe what 10 Solana in here, 12 Solana. So it's not really, the portfolio will hold as long as the prices hold. We'll be able to see a mile off if there's a crash coming. We'll have so much time to get out and would still be in profit. So remember, it's on the price you actually buy. Yeah, the money is made on your entry. Don't come in here and then say, oh, it's looking green, I'm going to buy. Because if you waited to the weekend and the price was a 2% discount, you'll definitely be more safe. You want to get in on dips, yeah. So Sui doesn't look like a good place to buy. Let's see if it pulls back. 220 maybe. Buy in there with Solana. Like I mentioned, I showed you that pool. And you don't have to use Orca. You can use anything else, really and truly. But I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I hope it's giving you some ideas of what to do. But genuinely, I've documented it many times, and I'm going to document it with this. You can pretty much do very, very well. Full-time income of a small amount if you know what you're doing. I'm quite experienced. I've been doing it for years and I absolutely love it. And I love meme coins and I love altcoins. So I just look at charts all day and I know what I'm doing. So it's much, much easier for me, but it takes time. You will lose some money, you will win some money eventually. It's a skill you have to learn, and trust me, it's probably the most sought after skill at the moment. So I wish you all the best and take care.